Hell no.
Welcome to Tour Tuesday, everybody. It's 2022 and we're back in action. It's been a long time since I've seen you all. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us at our new time of 7 p.m. I'm thrilled that you guys are here and joining us. I know we have some first timers on Tour Tuesday and a lot of Tour Tuesday veterans, which is great. I would like to introduce myself for all our newcomers. My name is Sandy Borowski, and I am Vice President of Tours at STAR. I am fully responsible for the tour division and making all the wonderful tours that you guys take. And I am your host for this Tour Tuesday and every Tour Tuesday. And I'm pleased to be here with you. We've got a great program scheduled for you tonight. We've got a special guest. And of course, I've got a poll to start with. So I always like to introduce our STAR staff that's here with us before we start. So I am going to see, I'll see who I see first. I see Christine Derling, STAR Tour Director, wave, there we go. And Gene Gray, STAR Tour Director with his Grand Canyon background. I've got Evie Simon, STAR Tour Director as well. Betty Barr, there she is. Let's see. Do I have any other STAR Tour Director? Oh, no other tour directors, but I do have the STAR Travel Advisor Extraordinaire, Deborah Ayers. Deborah, wave and say hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Phyllis.
So it's good to see everybody. And my poll today is a little different than I've done before. So I'm going to launch it. We'll talk about why I'm asking these questions, but I would like you to fill this out. I watch the following networks on TV, and you can answer as many as you want. Do you watch the Food Network, perhaps? Do you watch HGTV? How about the Magnolia Network, formerly DIY? Oh, I have a little spelling error on network. Sorry about that. Or maybe some of you watch TV, but not any of the networks above, or I don't watch TV. Maybe there's some of you that don't watch TV. So
well, you have Food Network. So
I know.
You have that walk.
Oh,
the cooking.
See, Food Network. That was like an ironic little typo. It should be Food Network. You guys, I was preparing this very quickly. So I was very busy working on. Ooh, can you see it? Can you see it? I'll talk about it in a second. Anyway, almost all of you have responded. I'll give you another 10 seconds to answer the question, and I will show you the results because it's kind of interesting. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to share the results. It looks like, can you guys see that? 38% of you watch the Food Network. That's great. 40% watch HGTV. A quarter of you watch the new Magnolia Network, and almost half of you watch TV, but not any of the networks listed above. And a few people say, I don't watch TV. So it looks, from what I can tell, lots of you watch HGTV and the Food Network, and some of you watch Magnolia. And a few of you don't watch any of those networks, but it looks like we've got people that are quite interested today, which is maybe why you're here, because our Texas tour does feature some cool things that have been featured on some of those networks. So we'll talk about that later. So that was a good piece of information to get from you. This is what I was showing you all. Let's see, can I, it's not showing. Maybe you can see it now. That's the STAR Vacation Planner, live and in person. It's coming to mailboxes soon. It went to the post office today. And wait, Rochelle, was that last year's or this year's?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were saying maybe you got it today.
no, this is volume 2, 2021. this
Okay,
one.
got it. So that's one from last year. So this is, I can't make it show up with my background, but it's coming. It's coming and we're very proud of it. And we hope you're as excited as we are. Does anybody have any questions before we begin? I see there's 2 hands up, but this might just be hands waving to me. That's all good. That we gotta love this technology, right? Let me just see who else I need to admit. Okay, so we're gonna just start right away here because we've got 2 fabulous long tours to discuss. Of course, we're talking about Texas and New Orleans. So I wanted to remind everyone that's why we're here. And we have a fabulous lady with us today, Elaine Moulder. And Elaine is the owner of Brilliant Adventures. You can read a little bit about Brilliant Adventures, but the bottom line is Elaine is sort of an arm of our tour planning department. And when we're experts in a lot of areas, but one thing we do well is we make note when we're not experts in certain destinations, and Texas and New Orleans are destinations where we need help. And that's where Elaine comes in. And we've been partnering with Elaine and her team for many, 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 many years. And Elaine has done the planning for this Texas and New Orleans tour, and she's done a fantastic job. So I would like to introduce Elaine Moulder from Brilliant Adventures. There she is.
Hello.
And she's going to introduce herself a little bit and talk about what she does for us.
Well, hi, everybody. Are you ready to get your cowboy on for the Texas trip?
Definitely.
Our company is what we call a wholesale company, and we work with folks like Star Tours to be like an extension of their staff to help them plan tours that they feel that they would like some more expertise and help in planning. So we have learned a lot about Star Travelers, and we always customize all of our tours to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's well said. They customize tours just for us, and we're sure that they're going to be fun. And these are 2 tours we have done in the past. We haven't done them in a few years. So you can say there's even some new things, new and improved things, because each time we offer a tour, we make sure that we keep it up to date with the best and the best of inclusions. So we're going to first start talking about Texas. And this Texas tour features everything that you ever wanted to see about Texas: Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Houston, Waco, and of course, the Pioneer Women's Mercantile, which I think a lot of you have understand what that is based on my poll earlier. The tour leaves on November 1st next year. It's 15 days. Some people might call it a mini cross country, if you will. You can see the prices, obviously. You can save a little bit more if you've got 2 people in a room. And it includes 22 meals, which is fantastic. 14 breakfasts, 4 lunches, and 4 dinners. So we're going to start because it takes us a few days to get to Texas. So we're going to start by traveling. Our first night is in Dublin, Ohio, where we'll check into a wonderful property, the Drury Inn and Suites. And for those of you that have stayed at Drury's, you'll know we absolutely love Drury's. They're very comfortable and spacious rooms, but we all love their kickback, which is their free appetizer / dinner served every evening, and also the free drinks that they give us. So our first night, in fact, our first 2 nights are at Drury hotels. On Wednesday, our second night, we arrive in St. Louis. We stay right downtown at the Drury Inn, the Drury Plaza downtown, which is literally right next to the Arch. It's an absolutely beautiful property. It's attached to a wonderful restaurant, and there's lots of things in walking distance. On our third day, after breakfast, this is where we check out. And as soon as we get to Oklahoma, this is where Elaine and her team take over. So I'm going to let Elaine talk about this because she is the expert.
Well, you're going to learn all about the small town of Pawhuska, Oklahoma, that Reed Drummond put on the map big time. Reed Drummond is the star of the Pioneer Woman cooking show on the Food Network. She started that show in 2011, and she's just a lot of fun to watch. She's very down to earth, and if you've ever watched her show, the cooking that she does, she makes you feel like anybody can make that food. It's just good old everyday food that everyone can enjoy. But of course, she likes to say she makes it for her cowboys. And her husband is Lad Drummond, and he and his family are the 23rd largest landowners in the United States. So
I did not know that.
Some fun facts about Reed that you might not know. She used to be a vegetarian. She decided one day in college to be a vegetarian. And then I think after she met Lad, she decided not to be a vegetarian because, being a rancher and all, they like their steaks. During her first pregnancy, now they have four kids, I think, 2 daughters, 2 sons. And during her first pregnancy, she craved McDonald's. She would not eat breakfast, go to her obstetrician's appointment so that she wouldn't weigh more than she was supposed to, and then go to McDonald's after. And then the actual filming takes place in the lodge, not their home. They have a separate building that they call the lodge. It was supposed to be a guest house, but they use it for their kitchen and filming and all of that, because in 2011, when she started the show, her house was filled with young children. So that would have been kind of hard to do. But after you learn all about the Pioneer Woman, you'll get to shop at her Mercantile. You'll have a wonderful dinner there. And then you'll travel on over to Stillwater to spend the night at a cute little Hampton Inn. Then you'll get to see Oklahoma City, a little bit of it. The National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum is a beautiful museum. You'll get to take a 1-hour guided tour. So they'll hit all the highlights and tell you all about this, all about the Western heritage and history of Oklahoma and things like that. The paintings, you'll see saddles, you'll see old guns, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful museum. When you walk in the entrance, there's this huge sculpture of a horse and Indian on it, and it's just the whole museum is beautiful. They have a wonderful cafe. You'll get to have lunch there, and then you'll giddy up on over to Texas, where you'll spend 3 nights at a Drury Inn and Suites. Then you'll get your first taste of Texas at Fort Worth. Actually, you'll get a taste of the Old West. You'll visit the stockyards, and you'll have a guided tour of that whole area. You'll get to see a cattle drive, longhorn cattle. So you'll hear the cattle bowing, and you'll hear the rhythm of their hoofbeats down the street. It is a once in a lifetime thing to see. So much fun. And did you know back in the day when there were actual cattle drives that cowboys made only $40 a month? I couldn't live on that now.
Here's some really cool pictures of Fort
Very
Worth,
pretty.
Texas.
And then you can see the longhorn down there, and really cool photos. We'll have an included lunch at a local restaurant. And you'll continue your visit to the stockyards. You also get to see the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame, another beautiful, beautiful museum. It's got a rotunda that's just gorgeous. And one thing that it has in common is that Annie Oakley, Georgia O'Keeffe, Patsy Cline, Laura Ingalls Wilder, Sandra Day O'Connor, and Jessie from the Toy Story 2 you can find them all in this museum. It's the only museum in the world that's dedicated to telling the story of cowgirls. You hear all about cowboys all the time, but there actually were a lot of cowgirls. And then you'll have a chance to do dinner on your own in Sundance Square. It's a really vibrant area with lots of restaurants, and in nice weather, they have outdoor seating. It's just beautiful and a lot of fun to be able to choose where you want to eat on your own. Then we'll head over to Dallas, where you'll have another step-on guide who's, very local, will tell you all about what's going on in Dallas. You'll get to see several areas of the city, and you'll have a chance to do lunch on your own. And then you'll get to go to the 6th floor museum. The 6th floor museum is the former Texas School Book Depository, and it chronicles the life and assassination and legacy of John F. Kennedy. The reason why it's called the 6th floor museum is because the sniper was perched and his rifle was found on the 6th floor after the assassination, and all of the exhibits, most of John F. Kennedy are on the 6th floor of that building. So you'll learn more about that, and then you'll have a chance to go to downtown Grapevine for dinner on your own. And downtown Grapevine is just a beautiful little city. You'll just love it. There's lots of different restaurants and things like that. And they have a really cool clock tower. And it's just a really very quaint little town to enjoy walking around and getting dinner on your own.
Elaine and I, fun fact, Elaine and I were in Grapevine about 2 weeks ago for a convention. So that's where I saw Elaine last.
Yeah.
And she's right. It was great. It was really cute. It was not warm, but it was
not when we were there.
Not when we were there. Probably is nice today, but not when we were there. So here's some more pictures of Dallas, which is just a very special, so many place with so many sights to see. And I'll be quiet now.
Then your travels are going to take you to Waco, Texas, which is now famous for Chip and Joanna Gaines, who are the stars of the Fixer Upper show. And they've created this whole shopping experience at what they call the silos. They have that Magnolia store there. They bought an old restaurant, the Elite Cafe, which Elvis Presley used to dine at, and they didn't want to see the restaurant get torn down. So they purchased it and created their own restaurant called Magnolia Table. They just are amazing. You might be interested, their net worth is $20 million. They just bought the Tribune Herald building downtown Waco, and they're renovating it to become their entire company headquarters. So they're going to move all their production studio, everything over there. They've added on to the silos area over the years. They have a bakery, they have a coffee shop. If you watch the show, JD that does the ironworks is in the process of building another, like his shop downtown Waco, across from where the silos and all of that action is. There's lots of fun shopping to do in and around there too. So it's a lot of fun. There's food trucks set up in the silo area for lunch on your own. You might get a surprise baked good when you're there. The guided sightseeing tour, our guide is awesome. The owner of the guide company that we use there is personal friends with one of the upper people that work for Chip and Joanna. So we always get the inside scoop on everything. Chip's been working very hard on an old building they purchased called Cottonland Castle. So every once in a while, people do get lucky and get to see Chip or Joanna. When I was in Waco last, I had lunch at Magnolia Table, and Joanna's mom was there, and she came and sat at my table with me for a few minutes. So that was one of my celebrity meetings. We'll do dinner at a local restaurant that evening, and we'll even give you a glass of wine to go with your dinner. Then we're going to head on over to San Antonio, but on the way, we're going to stop in Austin, and you're going to have a guided tour at the Bullocks Texas State History Museum. It's a gorgeous museum, and they will tell you about the history of Texas, the mystique of Texas. You know, it's a whole nother country in Texas. And you might have heard other things about Texas, the yellow rose of Texas, all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to introduce you to some good Texas barbecue at County Line, and then we're going to travel on over to San Antonio, where you'll stay at another Drury Plaza hotel right on the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is world renowned. People come from all over the world to see the Riverwalk. It is a 15-mile urban waterway, and you'll get to see quite a bit of it on a river barge tour, which is narrated. So they'll tell you all kinds of stuff about it. There's restaurants and shops lining the Riverwalk. It's very colorful at night because a lot of the restaurants, they all have seating outside, and there's lights hanging everywhere. So pretty and so cool. You will also have a local guide that will take you around San Antonio and tell you about it, and then out to Mission San Jose, which is the queen of missions. It is the largest of the missions, and it actually was founded in 1797 and was fully restored in 1930 by the Works Project Administration. So she will take you out there, and you'll have a wonderful time, and then you'll do dinner on your own, and then we'll conclude the evening with a guided tour of the Alamo. Then you'll make your way to Houston, Texas, which is famous for the Space Center Houston. It's a really cool experience. You can take a tram to see the outside exhibits there. You can do a Mission to Mars exhibit. And for all you weight conscious folks out there, did you know that the gravity in Mars is only 0.38 compared to Earth's gravity? So for every 100 pounds that you weigh, you'd only weigh 38 pounds on Mars. That's where I need to go. We'll check into the Hilton, and you're gonna have a wonderful dinner at Landry's Seafood in the Kemah Boardwalk.
Yeah, that Hilton is beautiful, and Landry's is a fantastic restaurant. So this is our last night that Elaine's putting together for us. So she wants to go out with a bang, which is why she did such a wonderful day of planning for us. And then we take back over on day 11. And when we wake up, we'll travel to Little Rock, Arkansas. So that'll be a full travel day for us. And we'll stay at a nice Fairfield Inn right in Little Rock. And on our 12th day, after breakfast, we'll do a self-guided tour of the Clinton Presidential Library and Museum, which is a very special place with lots and lots of history, not just related to President Clinton, but the times that surround when he was president. So lots to discover there. And then we'll travel to Nashville, where we're going to spend the next 2 nights. We'll spend the next 2 nights at a very comfortable Wingate Hotel. We'll wake up on Sunday, and we'll do we'll visit and tour ourselves through the Country Music Hall of Fame, which is fantastic. There's a lot to see and do, old stuff, new stuff, all different types of country artists are featured here in the Hall of Fame. And then we'll have lunch at Blake Shelton's Old Red restaurant in Nashville. So right downtown, just a really cool place to be. Again, for you folks that, are follow entertainment or watch any type of TV, especially The Voice. I know you've heard of Blake Shelton, and that is his restaurant that we will go to. We're going to do a tour. We'll be toured through the Grand Ole Opry. So that's a really cool experience where they tell us all about the history of the Opry and about the entertainers that have sang there, and there's lots of history to see right there at the Grand Ole Opry for the tour. And then we'll have the afternoon and the evening on our own in Nashville. On Monday, we're going to wake up and we'll head towards heading towards home. We're going to stop in Sevierville, and we'll have lunch at the Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant. Elaine, is that the place that does the fritters?
Oh, y'all, the apple fritters are to die for. And everybody, I think they bring them out first. So it's almost like dessert first. But yeah, the apple fritters. We're all about the apple fritters.
Yes.
And did y'all know that the plural of y'all is all y'all? So all y'all will enjoy apple fritter.
I did not know that, so that's great. I'm not sure it's going to sound natural coming from me, but maybe I'll try it again later. I'll use it in a sentence. And then after we have a fabulous breakfast at the Applewood Farmhouse Restaurant, and we can shop at the Apple Barn Candy Factory and all the places around there. We'll head over to Virginia, and we'll check in for our last night. And then our final night, we will come home, but we'll have had a fabulous time, and 15 days will be very, very memorable, absolutely, for us. Let's see.
All y'all will be saying yeehaw after going on that.
So this trip, as I said before, leaves on November 1st. The tour director for this trip is the one and only Christine Darling. Wave your hand there, Miss Christine. There she is. So far, 16 people are booked on this trip. So we have room for everyone. We have room for all y'all.
There you go. Very good.
Thank you. You're welcome. So 34 seats still left. But it's a good idea to call us soon if you want to book it. Why? Because we have coupons. You can't see it, but our coupons are in the catalog that's in the mail to you. And the coupons will save you $25 per person off of this trip. And you don't even need to wait for that catalog to come in the mail, because if you want to call tomorrow, just tell Deborah to take off the coupon, and she will, no questions asked. Everybody gets the coupon. So does anybody have any specific questions related to Texas and our fabulous 15-day itinerary throughout the state of Texas? Oh, and Tennessee and Ohio and St. Louis and all those cool places along the way there and the way home. Anybody have any questions? How about Christine? Do you have any questions?
I already started planning, and it's not till November.
Can you say excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. I have I brought my cowboy boots out that I got on my cross-country trip when I was out in Amarillo. So they're waiting for me to break them in again. So I hope to wear them.
Excellent.
While I'm in Texas. You know, as in Rome, when in Rome.
When in Rome, you got to wear the cowboy boots.
I know. Looking forward to it, and escorting the wonderful star passengers. A few have been in touch with me already. They're so excited that they got on the tour. So
excellent. They're one of the 16, some of the 16 people that are already booked.
Yeah.
Great.
Great. Yeah, I think 4 or 6 of them already.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Great.
Sandy, you may want to review requirements for traveling on the tour.
Okay, great idea. So because this is a 15-day tour, and there may be places on the tour that require vaccination, we are requiring everybody that takes this tour to be vaccinated and preferably boosted. So plan on that if you're joining us. Vaccinations and boosters, especially on a 15-day trip. I think it'll make people feel comfortable traveling on a bus full of vaccinated folks, and it's also the safest way, the way that we feel the safest to operate a 15-day trip only with vaccinated travelers. So our driver and our tour director will also be vaccinated. So there was a question, why doesn't the Grand Ole Opry include a show? And it probably has something to do with the schedule. So that would be my guess, that why it doesn't have a show.
They don't have shows every day.
Right, right.
They only have shows on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays,
There you
and
go.
not always Tuesdays.
Got it. And we're there, let's see, on a Sunday.
Yeah, they
So,
wouldn't.
yeah, yeah.
There's no show.
Sandy,
Yes.
this is Lynn. Can I ask a question? Are we still going to be required to wear our masks on the bus trips?
That's a great question. I can't predict the future as far as November, but I can predict the future as far as, May. And I'm going to say that it is 99% likely that we will be wearing masks through spring at this point,
Okay.
maybe through May or June. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I will say I would say there's probably a 75% chance that we're going to be wearing masks in November. Again, I think when you're talking about a 15-day trip, the more preventative measures that we can take to keep everybody healthy is better. So I would say plan on that.
Okay. Thank you.
But that was a great question. I'm glad you asked. I should have mentioned that as well.
Yeah, I also believe it's government mandated too, Sandy.
Oh, well, it is definitely government mandated. I believe that mandate has not been extended past, I want to say April. But we'll definitely abide by that government mandate and maybe even add a little bit if we want to be safe. Yeah, that's a good point, Deb. It is still currently a government mandate. Any other questions? All right. Perfect. So we are going to jump into our next tour, which is New Orleans. Some call it the Big Easy. This one is October 7th, so leaves a couple weeks before the Texas trip does. It's a 9-day tour, not quite as long as Texas, but still long for us, 9 days. You can see the prices there, $22.99 per person based on double occupancy. And it offers 12 meals, with 3 of those being dinners, which is quite nice. Our first 2 days are travel days. Our first day, we're going to head to North Carolina, where we'll spend our overnight. And then we're going to head to the Atlanta area. And that's where we get our first Drury Inn on this trip. So we'll be at the Drury Inn on our second night. And on our third day, that is when we arrive in New Orleans. And that is when Miss Elaine and her team take over. So I will let Elaine take it away from here.
Laissez le bon temps rouler, let the good times roll. That's what you'll be doing in New Orleans. So, and it's New Orleans, not Nolans or New Orleans. It's New Orleans, if you want to sound more like a local. You'll be staying 4 nights at the Bienville House Hotel, which is a wonderful boutique hotel. It's not a very large hotel, so it's got a lot of charm and history, and it's in a great location because it's in the French Quarter, but it's kind of on the outer rim of the French Quarter, so you can walk a couple blocks to be in like on Bourbon Street, but if you won't be in the mix of things when you want to go to sleep at night. We're going to do dinner at a local restaurant, but we already have that picked out, and it's Two Jacks. And it is spelled differently than it sounds. It's Tujages, and it's pronounced Two Jacks. And it is the second oldest restaurant in New Orleans. The oldest restaurant is Antoine's, but we're going to go to Two Jacks, which is a wonderful Cajun meal experience. The next day, you're going to have a guided tour from a gentleman who is a New Orleans resident. Native, that's what I'm looking for, native to New Orleans. And he'll take you around and show you all about New Orleans, and you're going to visit a cemetery. And the neat thing about New Orleans cemeteries is all of the graves are built in structures above the ground. And he'll tell you why that is and all of those cool things. You'll see the former homes, some homes of former Mardi Gras queens and things like that in the beautiful Garden District. And then you'll have time for lunch on your own, probably around Jackson Square, which is a very historic square. Let's see. A couple of neat things about New Orleans is the opera was first performed in the US in New Orleans in 1796. So I thought that was interesting since it's kind of more the home of jazz. And then later that day, you'll get to go to the Mardi Gras World Museum. Mardi Gras.
Oh,
Mardi Gras
God.
was
Put a Mardi Gras
the
mask on.
first Mardi Gras parade took place in 1838 in New Orleans. So you get to see how they
I
make
would do Mardi Gras. I do New Orleans. I've never been there.
you'll get to see it where they make the
What's that?
floats
I
and
wouldn't do
hear
that,
more about
Mardi
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
If you're lucky,
Which
you'll
one's
get
in October?
you'll get a taste of king cake, which
Mardi
is
Gras,
something that they do on Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, Mardi.
And boy, this day is really jam-packed with lots of fun stuff because then you get to finish the day on the Steamboat Natchez for a dinner cruise and sounds of Dixieland jazz.
Ooh, there's some cool pictures of Mardi Gras World.
Like you can see those floats and
All the beads.
beads. They'll give you some
there's-
beads.
Yep, there's more. Oh, there's a great food picture there. Some jazz. This is great.
The guys with the instruments look like they're getting ready to do a second line. When someone passes away in New Orleans, they do a parade called Second Line to celebrate that person's life.
Cool.
They actually did one. Did you see that, Sandy? They did one in Grapevine.
I did not see that.
They walk through our convention space doing a second line.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you'll start off that this day at doing a jazz brunch at the Court of Two Sisters. The Court of Two Sisters is a very historic restaurant as well. It's a beautiful setting. It has an outdoor courtyard and they have what they call charm gates. And those gates were forged in Spain and they were blessed by Queen Isabella of Spain so that their charm would pass on to anyone that touched them. So touch the gates and they're supposed to bring you luck. You can also make a wish in the wishing well, which is called the Devil's Wishing Well. Don't ask me why. You can find out while you're there, but it might have something to do with Marie Laveau and her practicing voodoo there. That afternoon, you will go to the National World War II Museum, and it is a fantastic museum. I can't tell you enough about it. It's been added on to and over the years and made better and better and better. It tells the story of the American experience in the war. And one of the things that you absolutely cannot miss is the theater experience. It's called Beyond All Boundaries. It's narrated by Tom Hanks. It is a 4D experience, and you will be glad that you went to see that movie. And then after that, you'll return to your hotel and have the rest of the day on your own. There's lots of wonderful restaurants in around the French Quarter for you to check out and enjoy, and music and adult beverages if you so like. You definitely have to check out Bourbon Street. Another thing that you cannot miss when you go to New Orleans is to do a swamp tour. And this one is with native Cajun captains. They will take you on a swamp tour, and they will tell you all about the history of that area, and you will see alligators. So Make sure all hands stay in the
Hopefully we
room.
don't see them up close or up close, but
Well, no, you do see them pretty up close. I mean, they won't jump into the boat or anything, but
all right, that's fine.
you'll also get to go to Alley Plantation, which is a gorgeous historic plantation. And you'll learn all about that. Wonderful plantation. I think it's I think it is the prettiest plantation. There are a few in and around the area, but the Oak Alley is my favorite. After returning to New Orleans, you will have dinner at the New Orleans School of Cooking. Always a lot of fun. The chefs there are fun. They tell you stories. It's always a good time, and the food is also delicious. So jambalaya, bananas Foster, it's all good. Very, very good.
We've talked about food way too much on this call already. Oh no, that's it. That's where Elaine finishes up with us. Oh no, at the end of at the end, that's our finale. Dinner at the New Orleans School of Cooking. And then we bid goodbye to Elaine's team. And on our 7th day, we start heading back. So we'll stay at the same Drury Inn that we stayed at in the Atlanta area on the way home, and then that same hotel in North Carolina. And then on our 9th day, we'll be home. So that's it for the New Orleans tour. So lots of time in New Orleans, which is great. I see Rochelle has a question. Let me go ahead and unmute yourself, Rochelle. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, you had it unmuted and then you muted it.
Okay. There we go. Okay. On day 5, when we go to the National World War II Museum, what if we don't want to go there? Can we do something else?
Let me look. Elaine, they're going right from Brunch, right?
Yes. It depends on if you're a strong walker, you could walk back to the hotel on your own, or the motor coach could bring you close to it.
Maybe to the hotel so we could pick up another tour.
Probably not all the way to the hotel. The French Quarter you can't drive through, so
Right.
it's pretty tricky to get around. So it really would depend on which route the bus is taking to get to the museum.
Okay.
So that's something that you would, just check on with the tour director, maybe a day or two before.
How many nights are on our own? We have a special interest. We'd like to go visit cemeteries, particularly at night. And I'm wondering how many nights we have on our own.
Well, we're 4 overnights in New Orleans.
Mhm.
So
Dinner,
after dinner on Sunday, you would be on your own, and then after the World War II Museum, you're on your own the rest of that day and evening. There's not even a dinner planned that day.
So it's actually 2 nights we have on our own, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we could plan other tours then if we wanted to.
If they were after dinner, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
There's actually, even after this New Orleans School of Cooking, so there's 3 evenings that you pretty much are on your own.
That's
yeah,
great.
depending on how late your tour starts.
Yeah,
Right.
that was my question. I'm thinking, well, depending on, we really want to see cemeteries. I'm thinking, well,
Well, you're
okay,
definitely going to see one on the guided tour.
I'm sorry?
You're definitely going to see a cemetery on the guided tour.
Oh no, we want to do night cemeteries. We're into
Okay.
the way out.
All
Okay.
righty.
So I was just
The
checking to
voodoo
see
and ghost stories.
the ghost stories,
I-
the murder mysteries, the haunted, everything, the vampire tour, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
So if we can, I'll probably ask for a little more detail on like when these things are ending so that we can go in and create other tours for ourselves, I think, at least on
Sure.
that tour, so we can get to see some of the stuff we really want to see.
If I
Not
can
that
make
this
a
is not
comment
great.
about that, Sandy,
Please.
there's also around the cathedral, there are tour groups that go off from there, and at night they have ghost tours.
Cool. And a cathedral, what kind of cathedral?
That's
It's
at
the-
Jackson Square.
Jackson
Okay.
Square, right there at the cathedral, and all around there, they usually have different tour groups, but you may want to check them out ahead of time, but some of the ones they have are the ghost tours.
Yeah, I'm
And
looking
they
at the
do-
Viator
They do
list.
happen at night.
I'm looking at the Viator list and I'm seeing like,
Oh, Viator.
oh my God, look at this tour and look at this tour and how are we going to do this? And maybe we're not all that interested maybe in the World War II Museum. There might be something else we want to go off and see that's of more interest to us.
Sure.
That's why I was asking.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would imagine that the jazz dinner cruise would be probably the latest event.
That's my
Huh.
thought. I was thinking, yeah, that kind of would like kill anything, say before 9 o'clock is what I'm thinking.
At the, yeah, I don't even think,
Yeah.
I would think it's going to be closer to 10 that you'd get back.
Yeah, that's
Me
kind of
too.
my thought. I was thinking, well, maybe not that one, but I'm thinking definitely the World War II Museum we might skip.
Yeah.
But
Michelle,
I'd have
this
to
is
look at
Deborah.
again.
Rochelle, this is Deborah. I mean, just in the essence of time tonight, though, I'll be happy to give you some more of those details if you wish. You want to give me a call in the office
That would be great. That
and we
would be
can talk
great.
about that, okay? All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Great. I saw Evie has her hand up.
In response to the question about the World War II Museum, on the next block is a small but wonderful contemporary art museum. And you're also very close to the old-fashioned streetcar system, which goes all over the place. And a big vote for the plantation. That's fabulous. That just so many wonderful things, and that Jazz Brunch, you're going to love it.
Excellent. Thank you, Evie. Lisa, you have a question?
Oh, yeah. I don't mean to be a crepe hanger, but what happens if there's like a hurricane swirling in the area? Like, do they continue with the tour? Because it's right in the middle.
No, I mean, it depends on, when we find out, if we learn about it before we leave, when, what the timing is, et cetera. But we know that area is prone to hurricanes. So we keep an eye on the weather before we leave, and, we wouldn't put you guys in harm's way at all. We may have to divert if we need to, but we wouldn't run the trip unless we think that we can give you enough good time in New Orleans.
Okay.
Sometimes you get caught off guard,
Yeah.
and there's not much you can do to plan ahead. But we're in touch. That's why Christine is on the tour, because she's the link between the office and the bus. So we'll be doing the planning obviously before she leaves and watching the weather. But in the case that there's something to take notice of, we will not head towards it, if you will. We'll watch the timing of it.
Well, I know you.
The Charmed Gates at Quarter Two Sisters, and we've always had really good luck at
Good.
this time of year to run a tour.
Great. Yeah. Elaine has guided us into the perfect dates to run the trip.
Sounds good.
Thank you for that question. Any other questions? These are great. You guys are doing your homework. I'm just looking to see if anybody's raising their hand. All right. Wow.
Jean?
Jean, are you raising?
Yeah, Sandy, I just wanted to know that I'm excited to be the tour director for this New Orleans trip. And I've been listening with bated breath, and I want to thank Elaine for doing such a magnificent job. And I'm getting like Christine, I'm looking forward. I'm starting my homework already on this.
There's no question Gene has started his homework. I forgot to mention that Gene is the tour director for New Orleans. I was thinking it was Christine, but I got her confused with Texas. So Gene is escorting New Orleans. Wait, did I say that right, Elaine? New Orleans?
Yes, New Orleans.
New Orleans. There are 4 people booked so far on this trip, so lots of room for you guys to join in on. Jean would love to have you. And again, it departs on October 7th. So Jean is escorting the New Orleans trip and Christine is escorting the Texas trip. Both trips are planned by Elaine and her fantastic team.
Sandy?
Yes.
I've had lots of people call me about New Orleans lately. Several of them wanted to see the catalog first. So I anticipate that number to go from 4 to upwards pretty quickly. The deposit, by the way, for both trips, if you're not booked, is $250 a person. And the New Orleans also requires vaccination requirement trip.
Deb, you got my back. Thank you. Yes, vaccination required for both of these trips. Again, long trips, we want everybody to be as healthy as possible. We don't want to have any incidents on board, planning to be masking up at this point as far as we know. So Chris, did you have something that you wanted to say?
Yeah, I do have a question. Would you recommend that our passengers bring the certification cards of the vaccinations with them on the tour?
They don't need the actual card at this point, but you will want to bring a photo of the card. So perhaps take a photo of your vaccination card and your booster if they're separate cards, and bring that on your phone. Or if you're more comfortable, just take a picture and print it out. So that we do have access to your vaccination card. You know, it's hard to predict what's going to happen in October and November, but we're going to, err on the safe side on this one. The other thing, it's really, I almost don't even need to talk about it because most of you are already doing it, but I highly recommend the purchase of STARS Tour Protection. This will allow you to cancel and get your money back on a trip. So when you book the trip, alert us that you want to purchase the tour protection, and you will be able to cancel at the last minute, right up until an hour before the trip leaves, and you'll be able to get your money back. If you don't purchase the tour protection, there will be a large cancellation fee, and there will be it's a cancellation fee plus any fees that have been advanced on your behalf. So for example, if we've already paid for the dinner at the New Orleans School of Cooking, which likely we have to pay a month or so in advance, or we've got to pay for lots of different things in the package, we won't be able to return those monies to you. So most people now are buying tour protection, especially due to the pandemic. So even before the pandemic, I would say it was probably 50 or 60% of of our travelers were buying tour protection. Now it's probably closer to 80%. And I don't want any of you special folks to be any of the people that either forget or neglect to buy the tour protection, because when you're not feeling well, it's, traveling on a bus for 9 or 15 days is not where you want to be. So we want to let you feel comfortable canceling.
And if I may,
you may.
Details on that can be found on page 64 of your vacation planner when you get it. It's also outlined on your confirmation when you receive that as well. But more importantly, your travel advisor will be reviewing that with you when you book.
And who's their travel advisor, Deborah?
Who's ever so lucky to answer their telephone call.
Yep, we've got 3 travel advisors waiting to help. Deborah is the one that you'll likely talk to, but Deb is always on the phone. So when you call, you may get Deb, or you may get Audrey, or you may get Christine, or you may get me. You just never know. I have been known to answer the phone. Someone told me, I don't know, a few months back that when I answered the phone, they recognized my voice immediately from Tour Tuesday, which of course mortified me, but that's another story. Right? Y'all, wait, y'all, all y'all. We're gonna have to practice that in the office tomorrow, Deb. I also saw another tour director who's not, she's going incognito. She's her name is Corinne Egner, and she's on the call, and she's not on her camera, but she's with us today too. So hello, Corinne.
Hi, Corinne.
And can I just throw out something real quick in reference to the protection plan? Definitely, I can speak to that. When I think in terms between my house and my family, between my house flooding from Ida and going right into December, and I'm still not finished with my house, and my cousins who were supposed to go with me on trips, and people falling. We just had for the last 6 months, it's just been total terror. So the fact that we had booked this trip in advance, a particular trip in advance, and then found we couldn't go, well, it's just like, I was so grateful that, and my cousins were grateful, because we realized that, here we were in the midst of this tornado going on in our household, and we were able to, salvage, our trip, because we just couldn't go. We were, caught between a rock and a hard place. And I was very grateful. You guys were very understanding. I'm still dealing with, Ida.
I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. And I didn't even pay Joyce to say that. So
no, you
she's
never
right.
have to, because I will, I've been traveling with Star, seems like forever. I'm going to say 30 some years, if not, when Margie was there, way back when. And I have every single moment has been amazing, amazing. And I would just say to myself, God, I'm so glad you guys are here.
Thank you. We're glad to be here, and it's our 75th anniversary this year.
Oh, yay.
Yay. So yeah, we've got some fun things planned for our 75th year. So I'm glad that you guys are joining us. Here's a fun thing. I'm going to award a $25 gift card to a winner tonight, and that winner is Sharon Brown. Sharon Brown, you have won a $25 gift card. Let me see if I can find you. Let's see. I saw you before. Hopefully you're still on. Well, we'll call you, Sharon, and let you know how you can spend your $25. So, and that is
here.
Oh, she's here.
I'm here.
There she is. Yay.
Hi.
Well, you won $25, and
thank you.
You even can double that up with a coupon if you want and save $50. So
you know what? Thank you. You know what? I had a question. Thank you. I had a question. I had traveled to the Finger Lakes last, I think it was in August of 2021, and we got we received a credit, and they said that we could use that towards any overnight trip. And so I would be able to use that
with your gift card. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sharon, give me a call and I'll go over it with you.
Is that you, Deb?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Deb. How you doing?
Hi,
I was
honey.
just thinking about you because, we're supposed to be traveling to Cape Cod.
Okay.
Yeah, so I needed to talk to you about that.
All right, we can talk in the office.
Yep, we can talk tomorrow.
She'll
I'll call
be
you
in
tomorrow.
bright and early tomorrow, 9
Yep.
a.m. if you guys want to call her.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Good.
And I
Well,
wanted to say hi.
congratulations.
Thank you. And I wanted to say hi to Gene. We went with him to see Tina. I think that's Gene.
Hi, it's me.
Hey, Gene. And I was sitting 2 seats behind you, to your right, a seat behind
Yeah.
you.
Oh, it's good. You like to sit behind Gene because, sorry, he's a little short and his hair won't get in the way.
Sandy.
They have
Yeah.
to wear the sunglasses, though, Sandy.
Yeah.
You have to put the sunglasses on.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I see Ron has a question. Ron, what's your question?
And my question is the hotel anywhere near District 9?
I'm letting Elaine answer that one.
Is she still there?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's still there. She's thinking.
No, it's in the French Quarter.
Okay.
The lower ninth, you're talking about the lower 9th ward?
Yes, the area that was damaged.
Yeah, that's a few miles away. That's in the city limits of New Orleans, but it's not downtown.
So it might be possible to see it on one of those 2 to 3 nights where the evening is to ourselves.
Well, your local guide will talk about it, but everybody in the lower 9th quite honestly is tired of having motor coaches roll through their streets talking about something that happened so many years ago now. They just as soon move on. So they'll talk about it. They'll roll as close as they can get to it. If that's something that is important to the group, your tour director can let the guide know that, and they'll get as close as they can. But honestly, everybody in that area, they want people to stop wanting to come there to see, just for that reason. They really want everybody to move on. And in all sincerity, they just don't want to be that anymore. There's so many cool things going on in the lower ninth now that have nothing to do with with Katrina. And they want to, the best is yet to come. They want to put Katrina in the past.
Okay, thank you.
That's great insight. Very good. Any other questions about New Orleans or Texas? Well, then I will tell you about our next Tour Tuesday. You don't have to wait a whole month. You just have to wait 2 weeks because our next Tour Tuesday is February 15th, and we'll be talking about cruising, Carnival cruising. We'll be talking about our Alaska, Bahamas, Bermuda, Canada, our Caribbean, our Panama Canal, and our Western Europe cruises. So we'll have an expert from Carnival Cruise Lines on the call, and we'll be talking all about those trips. So we welcome you to join us on Tuesday, February 15th. And before we go, I want to thank Elaine for just wonderful amount of information. And thank you so much for going through the itineraries with us. Thank you for planning these trips for us. Thank you for everything you do, Elaine. We're really happy that you're our partner, and thank you for being here tonight.
Well, it was wonderful to see all of these wonderful Star Traveler faces. We love working with Star Tours. You're in awesome, great hands. And we love to make memories for Star Tour travelers. That's why my title is Chief Memory Maker. So thank you for allowing me to be part of Tour Tuesday. And I wish you all the best and keep traveling. It's the only thing you buy that makes you richer.
Oh, I love that. I might have to use that again. Thank you, Elaine. And thank you very much to Christine and Jean and Deborah for being active participants in this presentation. Thanks to all the tour directors that were on. And thanks especially to you, our Star Travelers, for joining us. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you travel with us. And we'll see you on Tuesday, February 15th. Until then, stay well. All y'all, stay well. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Bye,
Good
everybody.
night.
Bye.
It's bedtime now, right?
Yep, it sure is.
Bye-bye.